Hello, children. It is I, Trunchbull. Welcome to today's math lesson, you snivelling little rats. So, as you know, it's book week this week, and today I am going to teach you all about a special maths book called The Maths Curse. Oh, bring it in. Okay. And we are going to do our maths, all about the maths curse. I hope you're enjoying book week so far. And if some of you are Matilda, you better watch out. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen with you. So, today we are going to be looking at a maths book called The Maths Curse. And as you've seen this week, we've been doing different maths books to go along our book week theme. Okay, so first of all, I just want to look at one of the maths problems in the book with you, and then I'm going to read The Maths Curse to you. So I'm just going to put my truncheon down and we will have a look at this together. So, in the dedication at the front of this book, it says, if the sum of my nieces and nephews, so it's here at the top here, no, that way. If the sum of my nieces and nephews equal 15 and their product equals 54, and I have more nephews than nieces, how many nephews and how many nieces is this book dedicated to? So before we've even started the maths curse, you've actually got a problem that you can work out. Pause the video now and see if you can work it out. Right, okay, let's have a look at this together. So, when you're looking for the sum of the two numbers, so the sum of my nieces and nephews equals 15. So that means it's either going to be 10 plus 5, because that equals 15, or 9 plus 6, or 8 plus 7. Okay, once we've done that, we can then work out the product, which means when we multiply those two numbers, equals 54. So I have more nephews than nieces. So if we look at our 10 and 5, our 9 and 6, and our 8 and 7, and we multiply those two numbers, we can see that 9 times 6 equals 54. So therefore, he must have 9 nephews and 6 nieces because he's got more nephews than nieces. What do you think about that, children? Did you get it right? If you didn't, you're going to get the cane. Right, okay, so that's the first part of our maths curse book. So as you can see already, there's some really great maths work in here that we're going to be doing looking at this book. So let's have a little look. We're going to go back to that in a moment. So before we do that, I am going to read you the maths curse. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to read this together. Let's hold it there so you can see. I'm just going to move my camera down a bit. We can read that together and you can see the book. I'll get it on screen. No, there we go. I'm just going to take the outer wrapping off this so that I can hold it properly. Okay, on Monday in maths class, Mrs. Fibonacci said, you know, you can think of almost everything as a maths problem. And on Tuesday, I start having problems. I wake, excuse me. I wake up at 7:15. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, and 1 minute to brush my teeth. Suddenly, it's a problem. 1. if my bus leaves at 8, will I make it on time? 2, excuse me, how many minutes in 1 hour? 3, how many teeth in 1 month? I look in my closet and the problem gets worse. I have 1 white shirt, 3 blue shirts, 3 striped shirts, and that 1 ugly plaid shirt my Uncle Zeno sent me. How many shirts is that altogether? How many shirts would I have if I threw away that awful plaid shirt? And when will Uncle Zeno quit sending me such ugly shirts? I'm getting a little worried. Everything seems to be a problem. I take the milk out of my cereal and wonder, how many quarts in a gallon? How many pints in a quart? How many inches in a foot? How many feet in a yard? How many yards in a neighborhood? And how many inches in a pint? How many feet in my shoes? I don't even bother to take out the cereal. I don't want to know how many flakes in a bowl. Mrs. Fibonacci has obviously put a maths curse on me. Everything I look at or think about has become a maths problem. I try to get on the bus without thinking about anything, but there are 5 kids already on the bus. 5 kids get on at my stop. 5 more get on at the next stop, and 5 more get on at the last stop. True or false? What is the bus driver's name? Mrs. Fibonacci has this chart of what month everyone's birthday is in. Which month has the most birthdays? Which month has the fewest? Why doesn't February have a W? Don't you think this chart looks sort of like a row of buildings? Do you ever look at clouds and think they look like something else? What does this ink blot look like to you? The whole morning, one problem after another. There were 24 kids in my class. I just know someone is going to bring in cupcakes to share. We sit in 4 rows with 6 desks in each row. What if Mrs. Fibonacci rearranges the desk to make 6 rows, 8 rows, 3 rows, 2 rows? I count the 24 kids in our class again, this time by 2s. Jack scratches his paper with 1 finger. How many fingers are in our class? Casey pulls Eric's ear. How many ears are in our class? The new girl, Kelly, sticks her tongue out at me. How many tongues are in our class? I'm about to really lose it when the lunch bell rings. Unfortunately for me, lunch is pizza and apple pie. Each pizza is cut into 8 equal slices. Each pie is cut into 6 equal slices. And you know what that means? Fractions. If I want 2 slices, should I ask for 1/8 or 2/8? 2 slices of pizza. What is another way to say half of an apple pie? 2/6 or 3/6? Which tastes greater, half a pizza or half an apple pie? We haven't studied fractions yet, so I'll take 12 carrot sticks 3 at a time and eat them 2 at a time. In the afternoon, every subject is a problem. Social studies is a geography problem. The Mississippi River is about 4,000 kilometers long. And M&M is about 1 centimetre long. There are 100 centimetres in a metre and 1,000 metres in a kilometre. Estimate how many M&Ms it would take to measure the length of the Mississippi River. Estimate how many M&Ms you would eat if you had to measure the Mississippi River with M&Ms. Bonus, can you spell Mississippi without any M&Ms? Okay, English is a word problem. If a mail plus box equals mailbox, does lipstick minus stick equal lip? Does tuna fish plus tuna fish equal for a fish? Physical education is a sports problem. In 1919, Babe Ruth hit 29 home runs, batted 322 and made £40,000. In 1991, the average Major League Baseball player hit 15 home runs, batted 275 and made £840,000. Circle the correct answer. Babe Ruth is less than the average modern baseball player. Babe Ruth is more than the average modern baseball player. Babe Ruth equals the average modern baseball player. In art, we finally get to relax with a connect the dot picture. Here is my picture. Okay, maths is just a total problem. Mrs. Fibonacci says that there are many ways to count. She asks to give us some examples. Russell counts on his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Molly says 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Mrs. Fibonacci says, I always count 1, 1, 2, 2. Sorry, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. But on the planet Tetra, kids only have 2 fingers on each hand, so they count 1, 2, 3, 10. And on the planet Binary, kids have only 1 finger on each hand. They count 1, 10. What are the next 5 numbers in each sequence above? Do you think Mrs. Fibonacci has been to the planet Tetra? And how would you bowl if you lived on the planet Binary? Okay, we're just about to go home when Rebecca remembers the special birthday cupcakes her mum made. There are 24 kids in the class. Rebecca has 24 cupcakes. So what's the problem? Rebecca wants Mrs. Fibonacci to have a cupcake too. Everyone is going crazy trying to figure out what fraction of a cupcake each person will get. I'm the first to figure out the answer. I raise my hand and tell Mrs. Fibonacci I'm allergic to cupcakes. Everyone, 24, believes me and gets 1 cupcake. No one, 0, has to figure out fractions. Phew. Okay, I stagger out of school. I'm a maths zombie now. I have to find something to break this maths curse. I decide to try chocolate. My favourite candy bar is usually 50 cents. But guess what? Today it's on sale for 50% off. So minus b plus b squared 4ac o divided by 2a, where a equals the number of letters in your first name, b equals your age, and c equals your shoe size. I decided to buy licorice instead. I pull out my money. I have a $5 bill. As $1 bill, a quarter, and a penny. George Washington is on both the quarter and the $1 bill. Abraham Lincoln is on both the penny and the $5 bill. So which is true? A, 1 Washington equals 25 Lincolns. B, 5 Washingtons equals 1 Lincoln. C, 1 Washington equals 100 Lincolns. And D, 1 Lincoln equals 20 Washingtons. Don't forget to show you're working. Extra credit. How do you think Thomas Jefferson feels about all of this? There's a little bit of American history there for you guys if you want to look those people up. Right, so I'm now raving maths lunatic. Put that way. Okay. What if this keeps up for a whole year? How many minutes of maths madness would that be? What's your problem, says my sister. 365 days times 24 hours times 60 minutes? I snarl. Dinner brings no relief. While passing the mashed potatoes, Mum says, what your father says is false. Dad helps himself to some potatoes and says, what your mother says is true. I think about that for a minute. If what Mum says is true, then what Dad says is false. But if what Dad says is false, then what Mum says isn't true. And if what mum says isn't true, then what dad says isn't false. But that can't be true because he says that what mum says is true and she says what he says is false. Can that be true? I think about that, then I think about it some more, then I think I better go to bed. I undo 8 buttons plus 2 shoelaces. I subtract 2 shoes. I multiply times 2 socks and divide by 3 pillows to get 5 sheep. Remainder 1, which is all I need to count before I fall asleep. Then the problems really began. I dream I'm trapped in a room with no doors and windows. The room is covered with a lifetime of problems. I have only 1 piece of chalk. How do I get out? I'm about to give up and die when the answer to my problem comes to me. Fractions! I break the chalk in half, then I put the 2 halves together. 1 plus 1 half equals 1 whole. I put the hole on the wall and jump out. I'm free! I wake up on Wednesday at 7:15. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, 1 minute to brush my teeth. My bus leaves at 8 p.m. What time will I be ready? 7:41. No problem. I've broken the maths curse. I can solve any problem. And life is just great until science class, when Mr. Newton says, you know, you can think of almost everything as a science experiment. And that is the end of the maths curse. Okay, so it's quite a fun book, you snivelling rats. Okay, it's quite a fun book to read. It's got lots of jokey bits in it, which is really good. But what we've got to do today, linked to our book of the week, or one of our maths books of the week, we've already gone through that together, is you have got a maths curse questions to answer, and they're all taken from some of the problems that we mentioned within the story. Okay, so work through them. There's a lot of multiple choice, so hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult. Give yourself 30 minutes to answer them, but hopefully you won't need that long. So if you just go on, I will look at that next. So you've got 30 minutes to do your task, and then for tomorrow we will be looking at the maths curse book again. But what I want you to do today is to start thinking about how you could write your own maths story, so your own maths curse. What characters would you have? What problems and sums could you weave into your story? And what curse could your character be under? Is it a maths curse because everything they think of turns into a problem, or do they have to answer a maths problem just to get through each part of the day? So start thinking about that, because that's going to be your book week task to do tomorrow. Right, I'll go back a second. So pause the video now. You've got 30 minutes to do your activity, and then when you've done that, you can unpause the video and look at the answers on the following pages. Good luck, you little rats. I hope you can have a look and break and answer the maths curse questions. Pause the video now. And here are the answers.